Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principles self-government. And in this video, we are creating a child behavior checklist. I absolutely love a skill set or a checkoff list, something that I can know we actually accomplished our goal. This whole channel is about self-government. When you make a plan, you got to know if you actually stuck to it, right? I love checklists. We're going to be talking about those here. We're going to talk about what makes a good checklist and what things should be on your checklist. When I think of a good child behavior checklist, I actually think of a proactive checklist rather than a reactive checklist. So what does that mean? So when you're reactive, that means you're handling a situation that has now already occurred. So the child is angry, going out of control. What's my checklist for handling that? Okay, that's going to be one process. But if you want to help your child have good behavior, then you need to give them a proactive checklist. You need to give them something to achieve before there's ever any problem. So can we talk about both of those checklists? Yes, we can. There's ones to use when we're solving a problem, but I really think the key focus should be the proactive approach to helping your child prepare to know the skills that they need in order to succeed so they don't end up having to be corrected as often in the first place. Your checklist should be very easy to understand. You should proactively talk about each thing on the checklist ahead of time before you ever expect your child to use the items on that checklist. So make sure that it's very proactive. Your child should also know, when I use the things on this checklist, these are the good things that will happen. When I don't use the things on my checklist, then this might be the negative thing that will happen. So they need to know what your behavior is going to be related to that checklist. This teaches them cause and effect. It helps them better learn self-government. Now, there are checklists like maybe a chore checklist. Okay, how do you clean your bedroom? First, make the bed. Second, put the clothes away. Third, put the toys away, right? You could make a checklist for any chore that they go through. But when we're talking about a behavior checklist, oftentimes we're not just talking about things they do, but we're talking about things that they think and ways that they're trying to focus on processing or feeling during an interaction when they're solving a problem. Oftentimes, too, a good checklist should incorporate a way for a child to be understood. If your child doesn't have a way to be understood, their behavior is going to spiral out of control. They need to know the way to get your attention, to seek your understanding. And they need to know what to do if, after they've talked to you, the answer is still no. If you have subscribed to this channel already, then you know I talk a lot about skills. And each one of the skills that I teach for self-government has a skill set attached to it. That means a checklist. These children's books teach the 4 basic skills of self-government. Each one of the 4 basic skills has steps. They are a checklist for how to succeed. So the perfect checklist would be a list of all 4 of these 4 basic skills. What are the 4 basic skills? Following instructions. There's 5 steps to that. You look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, do the task immediately, and then check back. You have to pre-teach, define, and practice all of those steps to your child for them to really be able to process them and use them in the moment. And you need to know how to correct them. So you're going to need your own parenting checklist so that you know a skill process to go through when you correct them so that you can be calm, straightforward, and help them be able to analyze what's going on best. This book here, Porter Earns a Quarter, teaches the skill accepting no answers and criticism. There's 4 steps to that skill. This book here, Big Win for Quinn, teaches accepting consequences. There's 6 steps to that skill. And then this book here, Paige Takes the Stage, teaches the skill disagreeing appropriately. This is their favorite skill. It helps them get their way very often, but it also has in it, built in, a way for them to always make sure that they can accept the no answer if they still don't get their way. Do you remember how I said that a good checklist has a way for the child to be understood? Well, this skill, disagreeing appropriately, is an option in every one of the three skills in the 4 basic skills set. So it's always available to the child. It's what I call the gateway skill to self-government, and it's vital for them feeling understood. So if you can teach this skill in connection with all of these other 4 basic skills, you can actually take care of the majority of your child's behavioral problems. Obviously, people are complex. They have feelings, emotions, habits, triggers, all those types of things, which means people can get out of control. They can become dysregulated in their brains, especially if you have a child that's maybe neurodiverse. But this program works for them. In fact, it was designed for neurodiverse children, but it works for everybody. So what you do is you teach them the self-regulation skills that they need. Teach them how their brain works. I have another set of children's books for that called The Calm Crew. They teach your child how the brain function works and how to make choices to get on the track in their brain that they need to in order to have calmness in all of their interactions. Pre-teaching is key. As a parent, that should be on your checklist. Before you ever give an instruction or a no answer, pre-teach. Then use the skill or tell them what skill they need. Then give them feedback. And there's multiple ways to give them feedback after they've made a decision about their skill usage. So having the family be just a little bit more organized and predictable not only decreases the anxiety in the children and the parents, but it helps you solve more problems. It helps improve the behavior because now everyone's becoming more deliberate. I'd love to share with you more about this system of self-government in my next full-length class, which is a video on this channel called The Not-So-Known Secret for Parenting Success. Click on the link to that video next. I'll see you there.